Today, I want all of you to travel with me for the next few minutes as I take you on a journey to your own love life. I want you all to close your eyes for a few seconds and go back to a partner that you were or are with. If you've had more than one relationship, think of a partner that had the most impact on you. Now go back to your beginning with them and think how the two of you got together. Was it attraction, proximity, common friends, similar interests, shared values, or that you just clicked? Now open your eyes and tell me by the show of hands that how many of you had at least one of these factors played out for you. Alright. What if I tell you that you are wrong in thinking so? What if I tell you that you didn't choose your partner based on these factors, but something bigger than that? We all think that we choose people in our lives randomly or based on these factors. But have you ever felt that you keep choosing somewhat similar kind of people in life? Or that you are not able to find the kind of person that you'd like to be with? What if I tell you that it's predetermined who you're going to choose as your partner and that there is a hidden pattern behind it? And what if I tell you that in the next few minutes, you can learn about this pattern and you can also learn to break it? So let's dive right in, shall we? We all want to be happy, and yet we choose to stay in relationships that make us suffer. We want to be taken care of, and yet we choose partners who terribly need care themselves. We want to live a free life, and yet we choose controlling partners. We want to have loyalty and security in life, and yet we choose partners who are likely to cheat or have cheated. Why do we do this? Why are we not able to find people who match our needs? Well, a question that we're all struggling with, isn't it? I'll answer that question for you today. We don't find people based on our needs because we don't choose people based on our needs. We choose people based on what feels familiar. You might want to be happy, but you've only been familiarized with chaos growing up. You might want to be taken care of, but as a child you only played the role of a caretaker with your broken parents. You might want a lot of love and attention, but you got familiarized with getting neglected by your parents. You might want to live a free life, but you spent your entire childhood seeking the approval of your caregivers. Our definition of love comes from how we have been loved by our caregivers. And we continue to know and experience love in exactly the same light. Famous psychologist Jean Piaget, who worked on child development, said that children live egocentrically, which means that they think that they are at the center of the world. Whatever is happening around them is happening because of them. So if I'm a child and I got neglected by my parents, I would think I didn't get any attention because I am not worthy of it. Not having our emotional needs met in the childhood is a huge psychological trauma. A trauma that doesn't just impact our childhood but travels with us all the way into our adulthood. For example, not being loved in the childhood would make us crave for love as an adult. We would go after it. But the belief system from childhood that I'm not deserving and worthy of love would make us push that love away when it finally arrives. This reminds me of this famous dialogue from the movie The Perks of Being a Wallflower, where the student asks the professor, "So why do nice people choose wrong people to date?" And he answers, "Because we accept the love we think we deserve. Another reason why we choose partners who are just like our parents resides in our nervous system. Today, we have more scientific evidence than ever that trauma impacts our body. It brings about changes in our body and nervous system. I'll give you an example. Every time that Rose felt neglected by her parents, she experienced a great deal of anxiety, a lot of tension in her chest area and stomach area, and a lot of muscle tension in her shoulders. And she experienced this emotion of neglect all so often that her body started to find an odd comfort in it and started to feel at home on re experiencing it. Today, every time her partner neglects her, she feels at home with him. She had to chase after the love of her parents all her life, and that is why chasing feels so familiar to her today that she confuses it with love. As a result, she keeps choosing men who are emotionally unavailable, keep running away, and fear commitment. Because of this, poor girl keeps going from guy to guy, but her need for commitment and companionship never gets fulfilled. What do we know from this? We know that unhealthy love, when it's too familiar to us, it starts to feel healthy and safe. The opposite of this is also true. That love that is healthy, if it's too unfamiliar to us, if we've not experienced it in the childhood, we find it very unsafe. Let's go back to Rose to understand that. After being neglected all her life by her parents, the only thing that Rose wanted was to be loved and taken care of by her partner. And after going through multiple rejections, she finally found it. She found a partner who was available and was ready to commit. Now you'd think, perfect, good for Rose. That's what she wanted and she must have lived happily ever after. Except that she didn't. Because on finally finding an available partner, she actually ended up pushing him away. She said he was too clingy. Because his emotional availability was too alien to her. And she didn't know what to do with it. What we're dealing with here is years of stored trauma. And it's going to require conscious healing to recover from it. And the first thing that we need to do for that is to ask ourselves, what have we been familiarized with under the name of love? If we've had parents who were very condescending, we would go and feel drawn towards patronizing partners and partners who are always morally policing us, thereby identifying being rectified as love. If we've had parents who've always emotionally dismissed us and invalidated us, we would feel very triggered by an emotionally dismissive partner, but would also feel at home with them, thereby identifying being dismissed as love. If we've had parents who were always in some trouble and we had to rescue them and be caretakers for them, we would always find broken partners to be with and will try to fix them and take care of them, thereby identifying caregiving as love. If we've had a lot of physical abuse come towards us from our parents, we would always confuse love with violence. If we were sexually abused under the safe roof of our parents, we would always look at the exchange of sex as love, would feel obliged to give sex to our partners instead of having sex with them, and would have no sexual boundaries whatsoever. What we're dealing with here is trauma that has been passed on from generation to generation. And it's going to require deliberate and conscious effort to heal from it. But when it comes to healing, there is a lot of noise in the world. We know that there's therapy, there's spiritual practices, yoga, mindfulness, and whatnot. But whenever we talk about healing, there is one place where we never look. Any guesses? That place is our relationship itself. Contrary to popular opinion, I'll tell you that relationships heal. Because of a collective trauma, we've come to look at relationships as either problematic or heartbreaking or, really troublesome, or we look at them as a fairy tale. So we either keep waiting for a perfect partner to come along, or we think that we will have to be self-reliant and we'll have to stop being needy in order to heal. The truth, however, is that the wounds that came from relationships will also heal in and through relationships. And let me tell you that this healing is not magical. Sorry to break that to you. It's messy, it's complicated, and it requires work. In fact, a lot of your emotional wounds will only get exposed in a safe relationship, because that's where we experience the most amount of intimacy that allows us to look at ourselves very closely. And so, an emotional relationship, a safe emotional relationship, will always trigger you. And let me say it from this platform today that it is not a bad thing to get triggered. That triggers do not need a warning, they need our attention. When we get triggered, we get exposed to an emotional wound that we otherwise wouldn't have. And that offers us an opportunity to work on that wound. That being said, a safe relationship will not just trigger us, but it will also allow us and give us a safe space to be vulnerable, authentic, and flawed. Our bullied, rejected, abandoned parts from our childhood still live and breathe in us, and they continue to impact us. But when we allow a safe partner to touch these parts that have never been touched before, they heal. And this has come out to be true for a lot of my clients and for myself. For years altogether, I suffered from insecurity and immense overthinking. Because since childhood, I felt that I was never chosen by my parents and by everyone else later in life. But I carried this very confident exterior, and I gave out this vibe that I have it all together. But deep down, I carried immense pain of being in self-doubt and never being able to trust myself. After going through multiple rejections, I thought that I don't deserve to be loved. But I was so convinced by my own confident exterior that I didn't realize any of it until I came into a safe relationship. Every time that my partner said that I'm pretty or kind or beautiful or smart, I felt numb in the face of these compliments. I couldn't sink it in. Because subconsciously I thought that if I am all of these things, why did everyone leave me? And I was convinced that it's just a matter of time when my now partner will leave me too. So I kept waiting for a shoe to drop as he kept loving me for what I thought were my messiest parts. When nothing went wrong, I actually started to push him away. Because not being rejected for these parts was too alien to me. It felt too unfamiliar and hence too unsafe. So after a lot of pull and push and still consistently being chosen, I started to recognize what safety looks like in a relationship. And that changed everything for me. While I was working in therapy on my abandoned and insecure parts, when my partner's actions also showed what I was learning in therapy, that is that I'm worthy of being chosen, it really worked as a catalyst in my healing journey. The world started to feel a lot safer. I started to look at myself differently, and love didn't feel so scary after all. On that note, I invite all of you to go beyond what feels familiar, to open your heart to something that is unpredictable, uncertain, and brings in discomfort, and to make room for unfamiliar things. Because all good things reside on the other side of unfamiliarity. Thank you.